dealer support network is an important element for transport owners to make sure that any truck they buy, whether it's a diesel or an EV, has the appropriate level of after-sales service and support. And our national dealer network is trained and equipped to support our range of EVs. The support required is different from what's typically required for a diesel. There's a lot of things that a diesel requires that EVs don't, and there's some things that EVs require that diesels don't. But if you look at your service manual and you have a look at the elements of that service that relate to the power system, you'll see that with a diesel, a lot of it is fluids and filters and adjustments and those sorts of things. In an EV, we don't have that element. Our main focus is just on the plumbing, the routing and the connections of the various components to make sure that they're still performing the way they should.
Tony Fairweather's my name, CEO and founder of C Electric. C Electric's an automotive power system provider in the electric commercial vehicle space. We've developed technology starting back in 2013 to electrify what we call the delivery and distribution vehicle segment of the automotive space. So that's essentially any commercial vehicle that is picking up and delivering freight in an urban environment. Starting from a delivery van type application right up into Class 8 refuse style vehicles. So we wanted a range of power systems that could readily adapt to existing commercial vehicles that were already operating in that space. Being able to adapt to those vehicles on a new basis but also aftermarket basis. And with a system, a power system range, which we refer to as C-Drive, a range that is readily adaptable and easily adaptable to provide scale and provide a power system solution to the OEMs, the dealers and the end customers that are needing this technology. The fundamentals around our C-Drive are exactly the same no matter what the size or what the class of the product. Our system you see in front of you is a C-Drive 128. It's about 138 kilowatt hour of batteries across two different battery packs. The primary reason for a C Electric was to reduce the environmental impact of commercial vehicles and develop technology that would achieve the same performance, the same duty cycle, the same weight and the same economics as that of an internal combustion engine, hence ensuring the scale uptake of zero emission products in our urban environments.
Yeah, it's great to be here and to be part of the C Electric launch at the 2021 Brisbane Truck Show. Very exciting time to be part of the zero logistics world here in Australia, and today C Electric's unveiled our first SKD, or locally produced and assembled truck, which is a very exciting time. Came off the production line last week, the first one. It's here at the Brisbane Truck Show for everyone to see. Those trucks will be sold through all the C Electric dealers, 12 of them around Australia, and very exciting time for the brand.
My name is Chris Charlton. I'm the National Account Director for C Electric for the School Bus Division. I came to C Electric because I wanted to make a difference in the little kids out there who are sitting on 500,000 school buses 90% of those are diesel, breathing in those fumes. That's why I'm here, to make a difference. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Javier Flores. I'm the Northern California Regional Sales Manager. I love working for C Electric. It's a wonderful company. I joined with C Electric for the benefit of the planet, moving America's commercial force to a zero emissions future for the benefit of my children.
My name is Joseph Greenley, the Vice President of Engineering. Working at C Electric is intellectually stimulating because we're at the forefront of development.
Hi, my name is Kerry Sapero. I'm a Regional Sales Manager with C Electric. I joined C Electric because their technology is one of the best out there globally to provide 100% zero emission to companies that want to go from gas and diesel to electric.
My name is Sean Riel. I'm an electrical engineer and after sales support at C Electric. Right, so EVs, in my opinion, are inevitable. It's a necessary industry. It not only is like the electric vehicle's total cost of ownership, it's good for the consumer, but it's also good for the environment. It's good. There's a lot of societal benefits. A lot of the delivery drivers, they've been driving diesel or gas trucks like for the past 10 plus years. So they're a little bit hesitant at first, but once they feel the regen and can configure it and they get used to it, it's kind of like driving a big golf cart. It's super easy, super fun. So hesitant at first, but once they get their hands on it, they're a lot more comfortable with it and they like it.
My name is Ted Rossi and I'm the Strategic Accounts Manager here at C Electric, and I am very excited at the opportunity to create a more sustainable automotive industry as well as the world as a whole.
The semi-knockdown kit assembly process has a number of elements to it. The first, and probably the most important, is the management and control of the inventory. So the components arrive in a 40-foot shipping container. We then unpack them and store them in known storage locations. Then when the vehicle is scheduled to start, we pick the components for that particular vehicle and start to populate the assembly line with those components. The first element is the sub-assembled parts of the vehicle. Most of those are C Electric power system components, C-drive power system. So the cooling box, the component box has all of the electronic and electrical components. The cooling box, of course, has a radiator and fans and some pumps. So once those two components are assembled, they then move their way across into the production line. Like any truck production line in the world, the first thing to do is to assemble the ladder chassis. Then you put the springs and axles and piping, both hydraulic, air and electrical, and put it on wheels so you can then move it down the production line. So our process is chassis, then axles and suspension, then electrical componentry, then battery components, then the cab gets put on, and then the final hookup and connection of the entire vehicle, flash of the software, and then it moves into our finishing line process for final drive testing, quality assurance checks, paperwork completion, and ultimately hand over to the dealer. The dealer support network is an important element for transport owners to make sure that any truck they buy, whether it's a diesel or an EV, has the appropriate level of after-sales service and support. And our national dealer network is trained and equipped to support our range of EVs. The support required is different from what's typically required for a diesel. There's a lot of things that a diesel requires that EVs don't, and there's some things that EVs require that diesels don't. But if you look at your service manual and you have a look at the elements of that service that relate to the power system, you'll see that with a diesel, a lot of it is fluids and filters and adjustments and those sorts of things. In an EV, we don't have that element. our main focus is just on the plumbing, the routing and the connections of the various components to make sure that they're still performing the way they should. The semi-knockdown kit assembly process has meant SEA Electric has become an OEM. And as an original equipment manufacturer, we have responsibility for the certification, the compliance plates, and indeed the badging on the front of our trucks. And in becoming an OEM, that's allowed us to introduce a national dealer network into our way of going to market. And in essence, it's normalised the process of buying one of our products from previously starting with a glider to one where you can walk into a dealer and place an order, and in 6 months' time your vehicle will arrive. And those dealers will also have demonstration trucks and stock vehicles as well for, I guess, more immediate purchase and for demonstration purposes. A lot has been said about Australian manufacturing, and especially in the post-Holden, Ford, Toyota landscape. And there is still a vibrant truck design and assembly process happening in Australia. There's a number of companies that already design and assemble trucks. There's now another one, and it's called SEA Electric. We have a team of engineers here who are integrating our power systems into a range of trucks, and including bringing a supply base around us to help improve the efficiency of putting together our semi-knockdown kits. Manufacturing specific for the Australian marketplace and design specifically for Australian applications is alive and well. Well, one thing we've found from the lockdowns that Australia has had in recent months is it's really brought forward internet online shopping. And so you've only got to look around your houses to find the number of parcels that are arriving and the number of vehicles that are delivering these internet parcels. And that last mile delivery is often done on a vehicle with a car licence. So it's a 4.5 tonne capacity vehicle. The challenges with that particular vehicle are to get the tare weight low enough such that there's a practical load carrying capacity for an EV. EVs add in that range roughly 200 kilograms to the overall tare of the vehicle. And we've worked particularly hard with the design of this truck to make sure we can keep the tare weight as low as possible. So in cab chassis configuration, with perfectly acceptable startability, gradability, and a range of about 250 kilometres, we've got a tare weight at 2.4 tonne. So that gives you 2.1 tonne for body and freight, which is an exceptionally attractive proposition in that 4.5 tonne car licence segment. Many people know of SEA Electric from the last 2 or 3 years when we've been very public with our presence in the marketplace, but we actually started nearly 10 years ago. The product range that we're working on today, which is the semi-knocked down kit production of a full range of vehicles. There's two parts of innovation that we have in the factory at the moment. One is the product and the other is the process. What you can see behind me to the right of screen is our semi-knocked down kit production line. What is not widely known is that here in Australia, in this factory, is a new original equipment manufacturer called SEA Electric. We now make SEA Electric trucks. Our vehicle fundamentally emits no CO2. It does so very quietly. It does so without vibration, and it also does so in a very linear and, I guess, pleasing driving experience. We will be showcasing the very first semi-knockdown kit vehicle at the Brisbane Truck Show, and it's the first complete range of electric trucks available from any OEM anywhere on Earth. SEA Electric now imports semi-knocked down kits of truck components in shipping containers into our factory here in South Dandenong, and we assemble them complete with our C-Drive electric power system into an electric truck branded C300 or C500. We're one of the few in the world today who are producing full production electric vehicles. Transport is the second largest emitter of CO2 in Australia, behind electricity generation, and a lot of transport's emissions occur in densely populated capital cities. We have the potential to save millions of tonnes of CO2 by simply converting a portion of the small and medium duty transport fleet in urban environments. A SEA Electric vehicle has the longest range of any electric truck available in Australia and probably the world. The vehicles you see here will travel well in excess of 100, in some cases in excess of 300 kilometres a day. To drive an electric truck is a profoundly different experience. Our vehicles, of course, produce zero emissions. They're quiet, they're safe, and they work. You get to hear wind noise that you didn't know existed. It's a more calming environment. But the other thing you'll notice is the smoothness of the acceleration, that they're very linear. There's no gear changes, for example. And they just work. This announcement represents something of a coming of age for SEA Electric. Whereas formerly we took new diesel vehicles and repowered them with our patented power system, we now take truck parts and assemble them in an integrated way, complete with that power system, to produce a C300 or a C500 right here in Victoria. The other element to this announcement is also the purchase of the product is now the same as the way you purchase a diesel truck. So you walk into a dealership now, you talk to a salesperson, you review everything, you place the order, we build the truck, we deliver the truck to the dealership. So that element of the original purchasing is now changed and normalised. We have finance packages in the same way you do for other products, so that you can have it on $1 a day purchase basis, or you can use a hire purchase or a finance lease, whichever your choice is.
We've had an EV truck in the fleet now for over 3 months. Feedback from the drivers and the crew so far is overwhelmingly positive. They love the fact that it's quiet. They love the fact that people are coming up and talking to them about the vehicle. We're also hearing the work crews being really positive as well. They like the fact that they can stand around it and they can speak to each other. What that allows us to do is obviously complete works a lot more safely. So we're not just seeing the environmental benefits, we're seeing the health and safety benefits for our people as well.
It's a very exciting initiative to be a part of. With 12 dealerships planned to be all around Australia, covering most states and territories, these dealerships are experienced Hino dealerships that have taken on the SEA Electric dealership opportunity, and the ability for a customer to walk in, buy, service, warranty a vehicle from a dealership is, as I said, it's a very exciting proposition for the Australian market.
Yeah, it's great to be here and to be part of the SEA Electric launch at the 2021 Brisbane Truck Show. Very exciting time to be part of the Zero Logistics world here in Australia, and today Sea Electric's unveiled our first SKD, or locally produced and assembled truck, which is a very exciting time. Came off the production line last week, the first one. It's here at the Brisbane Truck Show for everyone to see. Those trucks will be sold through all the Sea Electric deals, 12 of them around Australia, and very exciting time for the brand.
This truck here is the C300-85. It's rated to 8.5 tonne and it has a 130 kilowatt hour battery on board, driving through a 1500 Newton metre motor. Its ideal applications are dry freight, temperature controlled, tippers, very popular with local councils, and just a general freight vehicle. The one here, what makes this one special is it's the very first of our semi-knockdown kit assembled vehicles in our factory in Dandenong in Melbourne. This vehicle here is the newest vehicle amongst the Sea Electric family of trucks. It's the C300-45. So it has a 4.5 tonne GVM, meaning it can be driven on a car licence. And one of the key features of this vehicle is its 2.5 tonne tare weight, fully fuelled, which makes it exceptionally competitive on the global scale in this particular market segment. It has an 88 kilowatt hour battery and a 700 Newton metre motor, and it provides sparkling performance at the 4.5 tonne GVM application. This vehicle back here is the C500-165. So rated to 16.5 tonne in 4x2 configuration and 22.5 tonne in 6x2 configuration. It's the largest vehicle that Sea Electric currently produces. And in the 22.5 tonne application, it has a 220 kilowatt hour battery, very large battery, and a 3500 Newton metre motor. This particular vehicle here has a 2500 Newton metre motor, and it provides exceptional performance at its 16.5 tonne rating. Ideally suited for poles and wires maintenance, as you can see here, and also for refuse curbside pickup at houses. A very versatile truck in the C range. The truck behind me is a C500-140. It's rated to a GVM of 14 tonnes, and that particular application is a rear loader refuse vehicle. So it picks up multiple Sulo bins from congested curbsides in inner cities, and throughout the course of a day, approximately 300 to 400 lifts, 900 individual bins. It will do about 120 kilometres, full 8-hour shift, and return back to base with around 20% charge. It's got a 2500 Newton metre motor and a 138 kilowatt hour battery on board. Also on display here at the Brisbane Truck Show is a C300-85 tipper that we recently sold to the Brisbane City Council. It's a very application-specific tipper. It's got lots of nooks and crannies in it for the various tools and equipment that council workers need, and it covers parks and gardens, curbside refuse, and it's a very general service application within the municipality of Brisbane.